Hello, people who are not me, and welcome back to more Custom Robo. I am Sire Goku. In the last video, we finished up the main tutorial section of the game and saved Harry from, failure. No, I did not forget where the office was. I'm just kind of not talking right. I'm just not ready to leave yet. So we stopped the lab from being, robbed. So now we got to go back to our office and tell the chief that we just kind of saved them and everything. Oh, thank you, Linda. You just got me a job. Jesus, Ernest. So yeah, there's not much more we can do. And the game does autosave, so it'd be nice. So that's kind of nice. But what if I don't want to go to work? Work sucks. Anyway, we do have a parts generator here, but since I already got the parts before leaving Steel Hearts earlier, there's not much more we can do. So anyway, time to go to work. What do you do? Besides stand out on the lawn and stretch all day. Also, Hero, that is actually the default name for the main character. I know it's lazy, but that's the default name, so eh. So we're here to work. Harry, how do you not get fired? Damn. Jesus, Harry. Seriously, how are you not fired? Seriously, wow. Ernest has no faith in you, Harry. Jesus. Yeah, keep your... Wait. Keep your cell phone on. That's the exact opposite of what most people do for work. So we're gonna go to the gym, get a workout. Because why not? Nah, it's more just practice on how to use Robos, so we get to kick Harry's butt. Yes, you can change the direction the pod fires. Yeah, we mentioned this in part 1, but you can change the direction of where you're being shot off at in the beginning. So yeah, if you don't fire, it's just going to launch automatically to where your opponent launched up, and this is Harry's custom Robo. It looks pretty menacing. Let's see what he's got. He's got a glory model, a Gatling gun. Oh god dang it. Crescent bomb P. Speed P and standard. That Gatling gun though. Man, I kind of wish you could look at the stats too, not just what they were equipped with. What's the Holocene look like? Hey, we finally get a new Holocene! Hey, it's a more... Again, the safe thing to do is just always check the stage before you go into a battle to see what you're in for. Since Harry has a Gatling gun equipped, you're going to want to pay attention to where the walls are, because hiding behind them is going to be extremely beneficial for this fight. The Gatling gun is... it's pretty, as the name implies, it's going to be pretty fast. Like that. So it just kind of knocks you over real quick. Since I have the three-way cannon, it's a little bit more difficult. If you do have the three-way cannon equipped like I do, the best way you can do to actually hit people with it is to jump and fire, because then you can. Because if you jump and shoot the three-way cannon, then you're gonna have an easier time of actually hitting the person with it. The way I prefer to use things is I really don't. It's kind of a bad strategy that I have, but I don't really use pods very often, at least not the early model pods, because they're just too slow for my taste. I use bombs because they're quick, but now you have standard bomb S. I never tend to use the original items that you unlock, simply because the standard weapons are just not very good. Harry, no, I kicked your ass. Just get over it, buddy. Harry, just accept the fact that I'm better than you. Come on now. The autosave takes a little bit long. But before moving on, always check the parts generator after every battle. Because you are going to regret it later if you don't equip a new part afterwards. Slide shot. So you are very vulnerable when you're standing still and firing, basically is what it's saying. So you're going to want to keep moving and shooting. Unless your opponent is down, then there's really no point to sidestepping. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult because this model type can do 3 jumps at a time, and it has a Gatling gun just like Harry did, so it can do a pretty good chunk of damage. The standard S is a little bit weaker than the regular standard gun, but it immobilizes slightly more. It's a bit stronger, I think. No, actually, it's weaker than the standard. So I'm not even gonna equip it. It's not even. I mean, it's not good at all. So I'm just gonna keep my Robo set the way he is, and he should be okay. Oh, I forgot to check the Holocene date. Oh well. Anyway, this is why you want to get up as quickly as possible. That way you can knock your opponent over real fast. This particular model is super weak, and it's done on purpose. It can be knocked over really fast, but it can hurt a lot. Sometimes knocking enemies over as quickly as possible is not always the best option, mainly because then they can get a rebirth. If you're in rebirth, I think I mentioned this before, but when you're in rebirth, you can't actually take damage. So sometimes it's a little bit beneficial that it does take you a little extra time to get back up. Although with the way my setup is, this guy's a pushover. There we go. Always use the walls to your advantage, and there we go. And because dashing always does 100% damage, or 100 points of damage, I should say, knocking enemies over and then immediately following with a dash attack is very beneficial. So this was a speed model. That's the kind of thing you have to deal with. Speed models have very little defense and I'd say moderate attack power. Not the lowest attack power, but pretty low in comparison to other things. Which is why you notice that it got knocked over as easily as it did. So you have to take into account that. This is coming from someone like me who prefers to have speed over power in certain cases. But again, with having speed over power, you have to take into consideration your defense. Here, actually I didn't get that. Okay, I'm gonna have them repeat it just because I was talking over that thing here. Okay, yeah, so once you stop... So, basically what it's saying is after you dash a few times, you have a cooldown time. So, that's standard stuff there. This model looks a little bit more dangerous. It's going to be a little faster. Based on what I can see from it, it's going to be a little bit faster than average. It's also got a 3-way gun. Now it's also got the dolphin pod. So that's going to be a little bit harder to deal with, depending on how the Holocene looks. Let's see what the Holocene looks like. Okay, yeah, so now that it has the dolphin's going to arc up, so hiding behind walls isn't going to be as effective this time. It still helps and all, but it's going to be a little bit more risky even to hide now, so be careful about that. Also, this Holocene's a little bit smaller. It looks like. Ooh, that was close. I love this three-way gun. It does lots of damage. Ow! See right there? See like that? Yeah, I'm actually in a bit of trouble here. There we go. What I'd like to be able to do is make sure that my HP is relatively the same as my opponent's for the most part. That way, if I do take damage, I'm not hurting too terribly much. So this is going to be one of the first times where I'm actually using the walls, where I'm actually going to be using the walls to defend myself, because this can be dangerous here. Actually, to the point where I'm kind of worried here. That's not good. Oh yes, you can also destroy parts of the Holocene. I believe they do respawn after a little while, so it's not going to be. Well, no, they don't. The only parts that don't break are the walls themselves. All these smaller pods here are just kind of a temporary block or temporary guards that you can use. There we go. Now I'm not too worried. The explanation I was giving is kind of making this out to be more challenging than it needed to be for me. Oh well. That's one of the things I was kind of worried about with this LP, is actually explaining things. And now we have the criminal body type. So let's go get that right away so that we can actually show it off. Sometimes the camera doesn't like to work well with me. Anyway, so now we got the criminal body type. And we got new Trick Flyer, which is an aerial type. Obviously. Got it. Okay, so if you're using an aerial type, it's best to use air dashes more than anything else, which is understandable. And that's what it looks like. Hooray. What's the Holocene look like for this one? Ooh. So use the high walls to avoid aerial attacks. That makes sense. Oh, I didn't actually use the new part that I just got. Oh well, I don't necessarily... I'm not going to be switching up new parts every single time. In fact, there are certain parts that I really like using more over others. So once I get those, I may stop upgrading my Robo for a little while. It's not going to be permanent. I mean, I'm going to be using other parts eventually, yes, but there are certain parts that I prefer to use over other parts. Ooh, I mean, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Okay. Now, if you're in my position here... There we go. Just be careful, and know that since you don't have a time limit, you can just kind of assess the situation as things are going on. Such as right there, since I knew I was taking some damage, I was just kind of staying as far away as possible, and leading my opponent around. Some battles there are going to be time limits, but that's not going to... So there's points where you're going to have to be as quick as possible to take out your opponent. And we got a Gemini Bomb pod. Yes, you are done training with me. Are you? Okay, then. I think... Okay. And this should be the last one for this part. Yep, so again, it's just... If you get knocked over, mash the buttons as quickly as possible to recover as fast as you can. So we got... What's the Holocene look like here? The same one as before. I might want to change up my parts, though. Okay, yeah, so we got the Criminal. Yeah. I probably should have switched to the Criminal earlier, instead of staying at Ray 01. Ray 01 has good attack, but Criminal can jump a lot higher. That's pretty much the only difference between the two. I have a feeling the game was expecting you to switch over to Criminal as soon as possible. Now we have the Gemini Bomb. Actually, I'm going to use that because I want to actually upgrade. I want to actually switch around some things here. And Speed Bomb. So, yeah, I'm going to make my character... this is how customizing works. You can make your Robo a speed type like this. This should be more than enough, and I should have no troubles with this Robo that I'm dealing with here. There we go. I made a little bit of a slip up there. I probably should have used a dash attack there instead of blowing up that block, but okay. There, now we have this. Now that I have a new body type, you also have a new dash type attack. So again, if you're more comfortable with the Ray 01 model, feel free to use that instead. But I mean, that is the point of this game, is to customize your robot. You see how much better I'm doing now that I actually customized stuff? Dolphin model that I'm using here. Wait, was it Dolphin? I don't remember. I can't remember what my bomb type was, but I have higher range now, and boom, that made that fight go by so much faster. And now we have the cockroach pod. Oh boy. Harry, I think you're kind of in trouble, buddy. Where is he? There he is, but first, let's get the cockroach pod. The camera was kind of messing with me again. Oh, jeez. Man, I don't even get an option to choose. Thanks a lot, Harry. You know, at this point, I've been playing this for a while. So, I'm going to call it a video here. So, if you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and leave a like, comment, whatever. If you're not subscribed to me, feel free to subscribe to see more Custom Robo. Next time on Custom Robo, we will figure out what this fight is about here in Hub Park. See you guys then.